Well, good Thursday morning, Bakersfield, surrounding communities, and everybody watching online on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook Live. This is the Early Bird Special right here on KGEO Sports Talk, 101.1 FM, 12:30 a.m. I'm Chris Burdick. That's Sparky. Sparky, good morning, my friend.
Good morning.
Have you gotten sleep yet?
I have.
Have you? Fantastic.
With my smoking hot wife.
For those of you who have no idea what me and Sparky have been through, well, Sparky has been through in the last 24 hours. I mean, you've gotten what, about 2-3 hours of sleep?
That's all we
with
need.
All the stuff that we've had to go or had to do the last couple of days.
I'll
And
sleep when I'm dead.
we'll talk about that soft opening maybe. But
if we have time,
if we have time.
Like, I mean, before we get into that, I mean, on top of that, I mean, this guy Burdick, he gets in here, he does our show, he preps for the show, he's ripping reels, he's doing clips on top of producing 2 other shows on a sister station. So just give it up for this guy, Burdick. He's killing it. But we got a jam-packed show today. We're actually going to have some guests from NFL Films. Yes, NFL Films. We've got 2 guests that are going to join us, Ryan Kelly and Nick. I'm not going to say his last name, but they're going to come in and tell you about a 4-part docuseries produced and I believe voiced by Tom Brady.
Narrated,
for all you 49er fans. It's called The Rise of the 49ers. It's a 4-part docuseries. We'll hear more about that at 7:30. Plus Anthony and maybe even Dan Betts. We could put an end to this bickering about the Packers and Bears. We'll have both of them in studio. And then we'll wrap up the show with our boy Bolt Brady to try to make you some money for the weekend.
And Nick Mescolo, I think is how you pronounce his last name. But yes, NFL Films will be with us talking about the rise of the 49ers. For you 49er fans out there, the AMC Plus series will be coming out early February as it narrated by Tom Brady. Will take you through the 80s and early 90s era of the 49ers with Joe Montana, Steve Young, Ronnie Lott, Jerry Rice. I mean, it's the pinnacle of West Coast football, really. And I can't wait to talk to these guys just solely to get their thoughts on how all of this came to be and what got this project started and off the ground. We all know that Tom Brady is a main mover and shaker in this, but to be fair, I just want to know from a director's standpoint how all this really worked. How did you go about telling the story of the 49ers in the best way possible while also sharing with us some stories that maybe some of the fans don't know about?
I mean, these goes back to the 80s. I mean, I'd just as a producer, I'd like to know more about how NFL Films
does film work
with all these decades and still have the quality of it.
These 2 gentlemen are well known for directing a lot of different ESPN 30 for 30s. I mean, both of them have worked on NFL Films productions for the Patriots, which is, I think, why they were chosen, because I think Tom has a good connection with these guys. And again, Tom is one of the main drivers of this new series. So
big 49er fan.
Absolutely. Grew up in the California area, and he says it in the trailer. I mean, his season tickets to the 49ers are what got him into football. So you can all thank the 49ers for why the Patriots, got their dynasty. 49er fans, does that make you a little sick to your stomach a little bit?
See what you did, Niner
fans? Just a little bit. Before we get into that, though, let's get into some of this news. The fallout continues. The fallout to this Bill Belichick Hall of Fame thing continues. And me and Sparky made our piece yesterday. We told you guys how we feel about this. I understand it. I still find it to be absolutely ludicrous. Don't get me wrong. I think everybody in the sports world finds this to be somewhat crazy. But I kind of understand. You're a guy who got caught cheating twice. And that's just how many times you got caught. But people have made some good points. Spygate, they didn't even win the Super Bowl that year, and they were cheating against the Jets, of all people. The Jets. But all of this really has just turned the entire sports world upside down. Everybody is coming to the aid of Bill Belichick and saying that this is ridiculous and the Hall of Fame is a joke, and et cetera, et cetera. I want to hear real quick from the people who really have the most say, in my opinion. That's the people who worked directly with Bill. Let's start with Tom. Tom Brady went on a radio broadcast, I believe this was yesterday, and gave his thoughts and reactions to the Bill Belichick Hall of Fame news.
I don't understand it. I mean, I was with him every day. If he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer, there's really no coach that should ever be a first ballot Hall of Famer, which is completely ridiculous because people deserve it. And he's incredible. There's no coach I'd ever want to play, I'd rather play for. If I'm picking one coach to go out there to win a Super Bowl, give me one season, I'm taking Bill Belichick. So that's enough said. There's nothing outside of that. You know, again, when it comes down to votes and, you know, popularity and all that, like, you know, then welcome to the world of voting, and you may as well go, you know, try out for the Oscars or whatever, and, you know, get a big panel to tell you if you're good or not. So it's the way it works. And that, unfortunately, you know, he's going to get into the Hall of Fame. In the end, I'm not worried about that. You know, and a lot of times in life, you know, for all of us, you know, things don't happen exactly how you want them on your timeline, but we'll all be there to celebrate him when it does happen. And he's going to have a huge turnout from so many players, coaches that appreciated everything that he did and the commitment that he made to winning and the impact that he had on all our lives. And that'll be a great celebration when it happens.
I couldn't have said it any better. I mean, is it ridiculous? Yes. But is he going to get in? Yeah, he's going to get in. He's just not a first ballot Hall of Famer, although he should be. Nobody's saying he isn't in that realm. We're saying he isn't because he's paying for the things that he did while he was a coach. And as Sparky said yesterday, he's still coaching. There's still a possibility that this man can come back to the NFL. Now, granted, that's a ridiculous thing to use against him, I realize, but it's still a possibility. And these writers weigh that. They all debate that. They all talk about it. Now, the interesting thing that's come out of this, though, and we could get into Jimmy Johnson's comments about all this because he came out and was very vocal about this. Robert Kraft came out and was speaking out about this as well, saying that Bill deserves to be in there. However, there was a press release that was released yesterday by the Hall of Fame, and I'm going to read it word for word just so you guys can hear this and you don't think that I'm miscommunicating any of this. The Pro Football Hall of Fame understands and respects the passionate reaction from many fans, media members, and enshrinees in the hall itself in the light of published reports regarding the voting results for class of 2026. It's the very passion that propels the game. The hall also respects the members of the selection committee when they follow the selection process bylaws. It is an honor to serve as a selector. Each year, the hall reviews the selections, the selection process and the composition of the 50-person selection committee. If it is determined that any member violated the selection process bylaws, they understand action will be taken. That could include the possibility of such selectors would not remain a member of the committee moving forward. The selection of a new class is the most important duty of the Hall of Fame oversees each year, and the integrity of that process cannot be in question. Now, obviously not highlighting Bill Belichick specifically, but definitely highlighting the news in the past 24, 48 hours that Bill Belichick will not be a first ballot Hall of Famer. And also news has come out that Eli Manning is also joining him in not getting in the Hall of Fame.
Second time. Just bullcrap.
Honestly, when I was reading the article, I was sitting there thinking about it. It's like, God, when you put it that way, it really is rough. And I'll get to that in a second. But all of this stemming around, I'm assuming what they think is some sort of foul play that has been done, or maybe they caught wind of certain people politicking and pushing to not have Bill come in due to things that have happened to them, maybe causing some biases in the room. So this seems to me that the Hall of Fame at least is going to be looking over how this went down, who was politicking for what, and if any of these members should be removed for said reasoning, for said biases. That's the only thing that I could take from this, Spark. What are your thoughts?
I think it's a lot of nothing. I think it's just the media, 24-hour media.
You think so?
Everyone thinks so. Belichick is a first-time Hall of Famer. I think we pretty much put it where I think it is. I understand the sports world and having a jury of peers or whoever that are voting, they're always going to have their personal thoughts of this guy or this player or this and that. I mean, I can go down a list of people I think that should have been in the Hall of Fame a long time ago that aren't in. I understand, they always say the GOAT, this and that, but when it comes to the Patriots, when it comes to that era of the Patriots, whether it's the Brady, whether it's, Belichick, Kraft, any of them, any sniff of, of not honoring their greatness, it's always a bunch of drama. I understand both sides. I understand he'll get in there.
Yes.
I understand the other half of saying he should have been a first time, but we broke down the importance of understanding that it's not as important as being a first time ballot as other sports,
like
it is
baseball or any of those. Yeah, it
and
doesn't
I
mean
think
the same.
whether it's the Spygate, the stuff, the Deflategate, the way the whole Patriot breakup happened, or even the more recent drama with his little young girlfriend and putting him back in the drama.
Right.
I think it's just probably a bad taste in some of these voters' mouth, whether it's a personal vendetta against,
Right.
A Colts or a team that was a rival, or, something more personal, or it could be as simple as they think this guy's going to come back and coach in the NFL, and they'd rather wait until he passes Shula as the most winningest, coach, and put that on the bus when he finally gets in. But either way, we know at the end of the day he's going to get in.
Yeah, that's the thing that I think everybody is kind of forgetting here, is that this is just a 1-year waiting period, really. He's going to get in next year. There's no way he doesn't, especially after the outcry this year. There's no way they drop the ball in this next year. And honestly, I keep looking at this and thinking in my head, and I said this yesterday, you have to remember who's voting. Most of these are writers, sports writers, football writers. And guess who didn't have a good relationship with those people when he was coaching?
Belichick.
Belichick never gave them anything. Belichick, in fact, went out of his way to not be loved by the media so they would leave him alone. So it's much like in real life here, folks. When you're sitting out as a kid, middle of the playground, and you see that group of kids that you want to be friends with, and then you see the group of kids you don't want to be friends with, right? Who are you nice to? Okay. Then when it comes down to playing dodgeball, right? And 2 kids from the group that you don't like are the captains. You really think they're going to choose you first? No. There's always going to be politics. There's always going to be favoritism. Now, the weird thing to me is the response. When I read this yesterday, I was like, that doesn't make sense. What are you saying? Because it sounds to me like the Hall is saying something fishy went down and that they're going to be looking into this. When we first heard the story, all it really sounded like was certain people that were spurned by Bill were just rallying, saying, this guy was a cheater. I don't think he deserves it. And if that one person can sway 10 other voters, 11 other voters, then so be it. But at the end of the day, I think people are still forgetting he's getting in next year. This is.
I hope not.
I mean,
I'd laugh.
I know you would,
but I'm sure you're right. He'll probably be the first one voted in, and
there's no way
it'll be the biggest headlines next year at this time.
And for those who don't know how this all works, there's only 3 inductees at max every single year. You have to get 40 out of the 50 votes within the room. And if nobody on the list gets 80% of the voting, then the only person, the top vote getting. So say somebody got 78% and everybody else was underneath, that 78% person gets in. So there are years where people who don't deserve to get in, and there are years where multiple people deserve to get in and they don't. This happens every year. So I just think the outcry is warranted. Don't get me wrong. I did find it to be a little ridiculous, but to stretch out and just say that the Hall of Fame is a joke now and all of this is just tearing apart everything, that's a little ridiculous. It's just like baseball writers. Baseball writers won't let cheaters in. Neither will football writers. At least football writers are willing to look past it after a certain amount of time. Baseball writers don't. You will never get in. That's why we will probably never see Barry Bonds get in, or Sammy Sosa, or Mark McGwire, any of these guys that you loved watching in the 90s. Football's different. Bill's going to get in. The question again that I have to highlight, though, is the same one I said yesterday. When Tom is up, are you going to do the same thing to him? Is Robert getting in this year? Because Robert is up for it as well as a contributor. Is Robert Kraft going to be put in the Hall of Fame this year? Because if you're going to punish Bill for this, then you have to be fair across the board. Anyone that was a player of Bill's, no matter how long or how much they had to do with it, has to be held accountable for that as well. If that is the precedent you are setting. And Coach Jimmy Johnson went on McAfee. We don't have to play the audio, but
I think the difference between those three, I mean, Brady is he succeeded elsewhere.
Yes.
So his career
technically
continued.
So did Bill. Bill was a successful assistant before he came to the Patriots.
Yeah, but not a Hall of Fame assistant.
No, fair.
But second of all, the drama that followed Belichick and the drama between him and Brady, that kind of everyone went with Brady. Even rivals. As a Dolphin fan, everyone was like, even me. I was like, I'll go with Brady over Belichick.
I feel like that's because Brady is a more likable person.
But yeah, now he's an NFL employee doing his broadcasting. But the third thing is with Kraft, the drama that follows around with Kraft and his, off the field issues.
But that's my point, is that if you are going to ignore that and let Robert in, but not Bill, then we have questions. Then I get why they released this.
Yep.
And said, hey, what the hell? How the heck did Bill not get in, but this person did? And that's where I'm curious about.
That's where the Major League needs to read that press release.
I agree. And that's why I'm saying there is something here that we don't know yet. And February 5th is going to be a very interesting day in the NFL, because that's when all of this is going to come to a head, and we're going to figure out exactly what's going on and what happened in that room and how we ended up with Bill Belichick not being voted in and potentially other people being voted in.
I'm more upset about Eli, personally.
Yeah, the
two-time Super Bowl champ, 2-time MVP, and guys like Troy Aikman are in.
Yeah, and that's my thing is I've been a very big advocate that I don't think Eli is a Hall of Famer, but there is a big argument here that I did read yesterday, and I'm like, God, when you put it that way, it makes a lot of sense. Because like you just said, multiple time Super Bowl MVP. The other 5 people, there's only 5 players to have that happen. Joe Montana, Terry Bradshaw, Bart Starr, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes. 3 of them are already in the Hall. 2 of them are obviously going to be in the Hall. Potentially one first ballot Hall of Famers, potentially. Because honestly, with the outcry from Bill Belichick, I wouldn't be surprised if the Hall of Fame just ignores all of this when Tom comes up and says, Tom, you're in, bud.
Oh, you're not in already?
Yes. Oh, I thought you were already in there, Tom. Go ahead. We made a bust for you years ago. And then the other thing you have to take into account too, Eli Manning, 11th in career passing yards. The only thing that really takes me back, though, is the fact he has a 500 record. Most of the time when he played, it wasn't pretty. And he led the league in interceptions 3 times. And somebody who was known for his accuracy, rather, that's not a good stat. And I mean, again, it's hard to say that he has had the success outside of the Super Bowls. The Super Bowls are what really make this a hard argument to walk away from for me. But when it comes to his regular season play, I mean, he was barely ever a Pro Bowler. I know that's not really something that I think we should really hang hats on anymore, but he's not really a Pro Bowler, or wasn't really a Pro Bowler much when he was in the league. And again, his stats were always mid. He was never really the guy. He was never really the big guy. Now, granted, he also played at the unfortunate time where his brother was the guy.
Right.
So,
but he showed up when it needed to be.
True.
And that's the thing. I think if we're going to go by stats, I mean, I'll always go back until Ricky Williams gets in.
Yeah.
But considering the longevity of the short career he had and what he had to do bouncing back and forth through different teams and leaving for a year and coming back. I mean, if you look at careers and what they touched, the actual sport, I can totally get by with Eli not getting in.
Mm-hmm.
But I can also bring up guys like I did yesterday especially with, Coach Shanahan, Ricky Williams. I mean, I can understand. And I also think, which we talked about with the Baseball Hall of Fame when we got into it earlier or last year, is they've got to keep these writers and voters updated.
Yes.
I mean, if this guy grew up watching the 70s, 80s, and 90s.
I don't want voting on 2000.
Exactly. We have to keep it current.
Yeah. No, I agree with that 100%. Now, there are some people like Tony Dungy and long-term football guys or baseball guys, obviously, if we're talking about the Baseball Hall of Fame, that deserve to be in there. But I agree. If we keep these guys updated, and we need to know who's voting. I genuinely believe we need a list, because I know. And again, as somebody who went to or is a journalist, technically went to college to do that, have a journalism degree and all of that type of stuff, I get how much work these guys do, and I get how strenuous it is and how much recognition you deserve. And honestly, being able to vote on these types of committees is the highest honor for a journalist. But we need to know who you are. We need to know your entire MO. I need to know what you wrote for, who you wrote for, what your bias is, like, just in case these types of things happen. And honestly, I think Eli might just go the route of Lynn Swann. Like we said yesterday when it came to Michael Wilbon's audio, Lynn Swann, one of the greatest wide receivers of all time.
Yes.
What, 14 ballots? Something like that? It was double digits.
It was ridiculous.
So maybe Eli just, unfortunately, is going to be going down the same route. Maybe he will get in eventually.
I don't
but
know.
We need to weed out a lot of the other guys first. Because, like, I think Drew needs to go in first. I think probably, Ben, maybe. If we're gonna argue Eli, I think Big Ben needs to be at least in a conversation here. I mean, there are a lot of guys that I think that you could argue probably should go in before Eli, but Eli, I think somewhere in the 8 to maybe 10 to 12 area might get the nod, just because they're sitting there thinking, dude, this guy beat Tom twice.
Right.
He got the Super Bowl MVP twice. Everybody else that's done that is already in here. And we already rectified, hopefully by this time, the Flores situation. Hopefully by that time. So let's get Eli in there too. And just let him have his own small bust right there next to his brother.
Put him right by Brady.
Honestly, that would be, how funny would it be if you went Peyton, Eli, Brady? Apologies.
I'd love that. Peyton
right here, Eli right in the middle of the two, and Brady. And then you go, Peyton could never beat that guy, but that guy could never beat that guy. It's like, oh my God. You could do a Spider-Man meme, just go, what's happening? Let's take actually, you know what? No, let's continue, because I know our guys are coming in here in about 5 minutes. So maybe we will talk about this thing real quick before we get to
speaking of the Pro Bowl real quick, I got to throw this in because I saw CeeDee Lamb got voted in. He didn't get voted in. He was replaced. He's replacing Jackson Smith-Njigba, which turns him into both receivers. Now Pickens and CeeDee Lamb are on the Pro Bowl team, as well as Turbin, the kick return specialist. And now
look at the Cowboys.
Dallas, the good old Cowboys, have the most Pro Bowl players on a mediocre season.
Where's Jerry? I'm waiting for it. Where's Jerry? There's no patting on the back. There's no
one thing I wanted to bounce off you, because I know we're going to keep it with football, but I did read this morning that a team did actually reach out to John Gruden.
Yes. No, that's what I was bringing up yesterday.
I was like, really?
He's getting calls. He is getting calls.
But he is turning down jobs as well.
Well, again, it was a coordinator gig.
With Aaron Glenn.
He ain't
and the Jets. No. I'm like, I don't think so, brother.
No.
You see what I'm getting paid to do media.
Well, honestly, and speaking of teams that have interesting decisions at coaching staffs, the Browns, who obviously we told you guys yesterday found their head coach, lost their defensive coordinator. I thought the whole point was you have to be okay with Jim Schwartz staying. But apparently Jim Schwartz doesn't want to. When they made the decision to hire the former Baltimore Ravens offensive coordinator Todd Monken yesterday, Schwartz said, I'm out. I'm done. I'm done with his place.
I talked to a Browns fan last night, our buddy John French that does the guitar for Vets. Yep. He's the only Browns fan I've ever known, and he is a diehard. I mean, I remember the Kozar Marino games we used to make bets on, and he was the same way. He was like, man, one, I didn't understand why Schwartz didn't get the job. Two, nobody wants to coach Cleveland. And three, like, he was really pushing for somebody. I mean, as a Browns fan, I was telling him, dude, you're crazy. But he was like, why didn't we go 100% with Tomlin? And I'm like, he's not going to go to Cleveland. But I could understand where you're sitting. but Schwartz has been around for a long time
and has made this defense what it is. So you would assume that he would be the first one that they called and said, "Hey, bud, you want to talk about a promotion?"
or even be in the room to help us get
And
the coach.
it sounds like that's exactly what he wanted. From what I can gather, is that he wanted that head coaching job. He interviewed for it twice and was one of the finalists. So I think for him, he was genuinely thinking, I'm going to be the next head coach of the Cleveland Browns. I'm going to get my second shot, because Schwartz had a small chance with the Detroit Lions for a while, but it wasn't very pretty, as we all know. But in this case, you have turned this defense around. You have made Myles Garrett literally probably, and the entire idea, at least that we knew, was the fact that if you took the Cleveland job, Schwartz had to stay with you. And now Schwartz said, no, I'm out. I'm done. And honestly, feeling spurned by it, I would only assume. I don't blame him at all either. I would have left too. It's Cleveland. Why are you sticking around in Cleveland? Especially if you're not going to be taken seriously and if you're not going to be given the opportunity to be the next head coach. And I guarantee you, he probably thinks he's a better head coaching prospect than Monken is. So, but that's just my personal opinion. We'll get into this and a lot more as soon as we get done talking to our next guests who are on the line right now. So we'll get to them after this break. We're going to be talking about Rise of the 49ers for you 49er fans out there. They have a new AMC series coming out, headed by the GOAT, in my opinion, Tom Brady. I know, Dolphins fan on the other side of the mic. He won't say it, but I will. And honestly, this is going to be.
I liked him in Tampa.
One.
That was a beautiful thing.
Don't you get me started on those years in Tampa. I know what you're doing there. I see what you're doing. Let's take a break. We'll get to our guests on the other side. This is the Early Bird Special right here on KGEO Sports Talk.
The Early Bird Special at 6. Point 1 FM.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Hereeth my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover is accepted at the places I love to shop.
And
Get
you
it?
guys straight
The
out
Times.
It's California.
The Times.
All of the
You're
day in
paying
San Fran.
great.
Welcome back. Early Bird Special right here on KGEO Sports Talk, 101.1 FM, 12:30 a.m. We're also streaming video live every single morning from the 9 on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. You 49er fans out there, it's time to talk little Niners, or at least the highlight in my lifetime of the Niners of the 80s and 90s. We talk Rise of the 49ers. This is a new series coming out on AMC and AMC Plus. And honestly, it highlights probably the best time for West Coast football, in my opinion. Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, Ronnie Lott, Steve Young. Everybody knows the names.
Roger Craig.
Yep. And honestly, some of the greatest stories to come out of football, I would assume, are going to be in this series. And I can't wait to talk to two of the men who made this happen, Ryan Kelly and Nick Mescolo. Did I pronounce your last name correctly? Just to make sure I did that
Crushed
right.
it.
Sweet.
Crushed
Just wanted to make sure. I apologize. Sometimes I mess up and it embarrasses the heck out of me. So, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. Both of you from NFL Films. We really appreciate your time. First and foremost, obviously, we know Tom Brady had a lot to do with this, being a executive producer. But how did this entire series get off the ground? Who came up with the idea? And for many Niner fans who are texting me right now, I have to ask you guys, what took so long? Because we had to sit through the Dallas one with Netflix and all of that. And Niner fans are sitting here thinking, what about us?
Well, I mean, I think we have a partnership with Skydance Sports and Religion Sport, who helped us with the Tom Brady incorporation of all this. And, we can't tell this story through the Tom Brady fan viewpoint until kind of now in Tom Brady's, lifespan, because, him doing this as a player would have been awkward. He had to get into the broadcasting game and get settled there, and then this was kind of the right time for him to be fully involved in helping us tell his story of how he grew up in San Mateo as a fan of the team with season tickets in his family and going and seeing Joe Montana and seeing Steve Young play and having that be the example that he wanted to follow in his sports journey. So I think that's kind of how it all started. Obviously, we know we could have started telling a 49ers episodic story about how good they were at that period of time, but it made sense to kind of give it a contemporary angle, have Tom be a part of it, and that's why it's coming out now. So,
well, it worked out perfect because it not only is it coming out here in February, but the Super Bowl is in San Francisco this year. It lines up perfect. I'm a big fan. I grew up watching all the NFL films, the specials, the documentaries. And I mean, you guys had access to rare and never before, seen footage. Was there a moment or scene that, even longtime Niner fans are kind of going to be blown away by with this docuseries?
I think one of the main elements that we used throughout the entire series, we have Bill Walsh's personal archives of recorded team meetings, and they're just incredible windows into the way he thought and the way he ran the team and what made him a visionary coach. And I think, part of the privilege of putting this series together and having those elements at our disposal is that we get to bring all, viewers, everybody onto the inside of that, special dynasty. I think people are going to learn a lot about Bill Walsh that maybe especially younger fans maybe didn't know. And they should, like, if you're a football fan, you should know what Bill Walsh meant to the NFL and to football.
But I'm glad you brought up Coach Walsh, because that was going to be my next question. With him passing in 2007 and you guys obviously directing this, how challenging was it for you guys to really show what he meant to not only Niners fandom, but to the NFL without him directly being there and being able to share these stories?
Well, in addition to having those recorded team meetings, which were courtesy of his son Craig, who also participates in the film, Coach Walsh was a tremendous friend to NFL Films and to Steve Sable, who was our mentor. And we filmed with Coach Walsh many times, and we have just an incredible wealth of material of him, interviews and wires and those team meetings. And I think his presence is felt as much as anybody who we sat down with last spring and filmed with. Like, I think in addition, we sat down with his son Craig and his daughter Liz, who were also able to speak for him. So I think in a weird way, like he's represented maybe almost even more than anybody who is still with us.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
And Carmen Policy was also very valuable in kind of getting an insight of the dynamic between Bill and owner Eddie DeBartolo. So that he was also very big in helping understand Bill Walsh.
Right on. Well, in preparation for Niner fans or just overall football fans that are also, waiting on this to come out, I mean, are these coming out all in one? Is it going to be a weekly, bi-weekly type thing, or are they going to be able to binge watch and watch them all?
I think by the end of Monday night, you'll be able to binge watch them and watch them all on AMC Plus. On AMC, regular
linear.
The first 2 episodes are airing Sunday night, and the second 2 episodes, is a 4-episode series, are airing Monday night.
Gotcha.
And they span from the 49ers beginnings, and mostly the heart of the story is the 88 season, and that's kind of the majority of episodes 3 and 4. That's when Joe versus Steve came to a head, and that was probably the most challenging season for that dynasty, and it was definitely the most challenging season personally for Coach Walsh. And that was the season that made them a dynasty. Like, if they don't win that Super Bowl 23 in Miami, like, we might not be making this show. We're not having this conversation. So
yeah, you're absolutely
right. I think a lot of people who remember the 49ers as a dynasty probably forget that 3rd Super Bowl title didn't come easy. And even if you do remember that a little bit, you're gonna understand even more about how really they were on the edge of like derailing. So that made it all that much more special for that team. So it's cool.
So out of curiosity, how long are the episodes?
They're like a TV hour. I think they're like probably around 45 minutes of content for each, and they'll air in
overall,
hour segments.
Talking about maybe 3.5, 4 hour commitment here for fans, but for you guys as directors and obviously putting this together, how did you go about figuring out what pieces to keep in and what to cut? Like, did you guys go about this thinking, okay, this is a story that maybe fans don't know about, so we have to keep this in? Or was there just a plan going forward already and you just stuck to it?
I think it's a little of both, probably. I mean, we spent 6 months, like the last half of 2024, I think, putting together the story and making sure that we were happy with the story, and all of our partners and our clients were happy with the flow of the story.
Yeah.
And then you do this long enough, and there's, you tell the story, you tell the film what you want it to be, and then there's a certain point where that kind of flips and the film kind of tells you what it wants to be. So like there's a story about how Mr. D, the team owner, Eddie DeBartolo, after they won the Super Bowl in '89, takes the entire franchise to Hawaii, and he took NFL Films and Steve Sable with them, and we have amazing behind the scenes footage. That's awesome. And unfortunately, like, just given the flow of episode 4, it was like, this kind of derails the flow of the episode. So I mean, we use the footage in places, but that's a story that, like, I guess the phrase is "kill your babies." Like, we had to cut it just to keep the flow going.
Right.
But like that killed us. So.
That's heartbreaking. That sucks.
Oh, we did have a listener that texted in. He's a big Niner fan, and he didn't even hear about this, so he's excited to hear about it. But he did say, growing up, one of his favorite NFL films was the annual Football Follies that used to come out. He said, "Is there any chance that we can get these back?"
I feel like we do it every once in a while.
Yeah, I don't know if they're packaged the same way anymore. I mean, like, if you have an interesting wire bite from Sunday, it's gonna get put on social, and that's how people will kind of see it.
It's all in real life now.
I'm not sure how many people are like clamoring for a half hour of follies anymore, but maybe
Yeah.
everything comes around again. So who knows?
Yeah. They were kind of they were good back in the day when you got a VHS tape along with your Sports Illustrated subscription.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
That's all I'm
Yeah.
thinking about. Gentlemen, we know you're incredibly busy, so I just got one more question for you and we'll let you go. Both of you do a lot of work for NFL Films. Both of you are fantastic directors. Is there anything that we could look forward to that you're both working on right now?
Well, I guess we could say we both are working on the next season of Netflix's Quarterback, so we're very excited about that.
Yeah, and I will go back to editing a portion of the Road to the Super Bowl special that will be on NBC before on Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday.
Very long running, like
Oh yeah, it's been going on forever,
decades.
So I'm in the middle of working on that and Quarterback as well. So that's kind of what we move on to next. Then we get some
Well,
time off.
with both of us, we're both big Super Bowl or big NFL fans, sports fans in general. That's what we started. But we both went to school for journalism. We do this on the side because we're also both producers and produce other shows. And how do you land one of the dream jobs as fans of us? How is the road just to get a job with NFL Films? Because when it's not really work when you're doing something you enjoy like this.
That's
Looking at you guys,
what Ed Sable used to say.
Yeah,
exactly.
Well, the thing Steve Sable always told us was you should know how to write, because he said we can teach anybody how to edit film, but it's a lot harder to teach people how to write. So
yeah, that's one of the most challenging parts of all of it, I would say too.
Yeah.
So he's absolutely on top of that one.
Well, it's the rise of
thanks,
the
guys.
49ers. I appreciate it. You guys have a good weekend, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
Real quick before we let you go, can we get a hint at who the quarterbacks will be in this season?
we cannot tell you.
Dang it!
I can put money on it. It's not going to be Tua. I promise
well, no,
that.
that's probably true too. Gentlemen, thank you so much. We got to take a break. This is the Early Bird Special. Welcome back. Early bird special right here on KGEO Sports Talk, 101.1 FM, 12:30 a.m. Want to thank our guys from NFL Films, Ryan Kelly, Nick Mascolo. Go check out Rise of the 49ers coming out on AMC and AMC Plus. At this point, we got to get into some NBA. I mean, you want to start with LeBron? Or you want to start with Giannis?
Oh, I mean, Giannis, it looks like he might be traded.
Yeah, it's like Giannis's book is much thicker than LeBron's. I can tell you that right now. Let's start with Giannis. We got news yesterday that Giannis Antetokounmpo more than likely will be moved from the Milwaukee Bucks before the trade deadline on the 5th. 4 teams have come out as pretty heavy, aggressive suitors: the Heat, the Wolves, the Knicks, and the Warriors. First and foremost, let's hear from Shams Charania on how all of this came to be and what led to just the relationship between Giannis and the Bucks fizzling.
This has been the culmination of 9 months of conversations. You think about the back and forth that Giannis, his agent Alex Saratzis, and the Bucks have had since May at the draft combine, when he's been exploring what his best fit is. Because like Stephen A. just said, he has made it clear publicly, privately, he wants to compete for a second championship. And so he was able to recommit to this team. Bucks ownership, John Horst, Doc Rivers, they sold Giannis Antetokounmpo this season on winning at a high level, trying to compete for a championship in the Eastern Conference. That obviously right now hasn't happened. This is a Bucks team that is now 12th in the Eastern Conference. They're 9 games under 500. They've obviously nosedived over the last several weeks, and they're positioning for a lottery spot this second half of this NBA season. And so Giannis Antetokounmpo is looking around now, and he has made it clear to them in private conversations, as much as he loves Milwaukee, loves the organization, loves the franchise, he is ready to move to a new team potentially at the deadline or in the offseason. And the Bucks as well have had to reevaluate where they're at, what their direction is moving forward. And so I'm told there's already been several aggressive offers made to the Bucks. You have offers with former All-Star players, with multiple draft picks. That's all stuff that the Bucks are sifting through this week and next week. But over the next now we're 8 days away from the trade deadline. The Bucks have started listening to offers, engaging to an extent. They made it clear to teams what their threshold is as far as blue chip young talent and draft compensation. But this is 9 months in the making, several years in the making for Giannis Antetokounmpo in Milwaukee.
So this entire thing really stems around the Bucks convincing Giannis that they had a roster and had built a roster this year that was going to be competitive and was built around him. What they didn't take into account is when Giannis isn't on the court, the rest of the team looks awful because they are literally built around him. He is the facilitator to all of it. So if he gets hurt, if he's out, whatever works, the team looks awful. It really just does. And it has led to, like Shams has said, pretty much the worst year they've had in quite some time. And this is coming off of pretty much being the most successful regular season basketball team since 2018. Because if you didn't know, the Bucks, since Giannis has been there and since the 2018 year, have been 368 and 187 in that span. Giannis is one of the most influential players on the court, and to be honest with you, he's going to garner a lot, as you've heard our guy Snack say multiple times. So I had to look into this, Sparky, just to make sure. Obviously, when it comes to NBA trades, you have to factor everything around the cap space, and you have to factor everything around the contracts and whatnot. Giannis currently is in the first year of a 3-year, $175 million contract, in which all of it is guaranteed. His cap hit is about $54 million. So any trade that happens has to either be with a team that has cap space and or could suitably send somebody over of the same cap hit. The problem is the 4 teams that are going after him all significantly over the cap salary, which means this has to be a trade for trade, player for player kind of thing. I have a handful of trades here. We don't nearly have enough time to get through all of them, but I will try to before the end of the show here. Let's just say that when Shams says there's a handful of all-stars that got to be shipped, he ain't joking. Because when I'm looking at the T-Wolves, the Heat, the Knicks, and the Warriors, let's be fair, star players aren't going to be traded. You aren't going to see Anthony Edwards gone. I don't think Julius Randle gets thrown into this trade. Jalen Brunson definitely ain't going anywhere. Cat, I honestly think could. When you look at his contract, that's the only one that you could literally do one for one is Karl Anthony Towns. If the Knicks really wanted to, just go Karl for Giannis plus a ton of draft picks, because that's what you're going to really have to do. But there are some interesting trades here that I think that they're going to pretty much consider. I got one or two for each team. Maybe we'll get to them before the end of the show. But I'm telling you, especially when it comes to the Warriors, I expect maybe Kuminga to be thrown into this. Podziemski is a guy that I would expect to be gone. When you talk about the Heat, Andrew Wiggins, Nikola Jokic, not that Nikola Jokic, but the other Nikola Jokic. And then the Knicks, like I told you, the only ones that I'm looking at right now, Karl Anthony Towns, or you make a bundle for Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, and Mitchell Robinson.
It's going to be a multiple team type thing.
Oh, and that's the other thing that we honestly don't know. A team could have to be thrown in here, but I'm going to tell you right now, Milwaukee is willing to wait.
Come to the Bulls.
It's possible. Milwaukee is 100% willing to wait until they know what draft picks they're getting. They know they're going to get the full, value of what this guy is worth. So he could be traded by the 5th, or we could see him swiftly removed by the offseason. We'll get into that on the other side of the break, though. We got some guests coming in as well. This is the Early Bird Special right here on KGEO Sports Talk. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. Early Bird Special right here on KGEO Sports Talk, 101.1 FM, 1230 AM. Hoping to be joined here by Dan Betts and Anthony Jauregui from The Well. I swear, if we get no-showed by Dan twice in a row, he better.
I know he's awake.
It is what it is. I know Anthony is too because he's chimed in on our YouTube, but I know he's having car troubles at the moment, so we're trying to get him over the phone. But in the meantime, we'll talk a little bit more about this Giannis Antetokounmpo situation and the LeBron talk from his podcast over the week, and talking about how the game has changed since the 90s. And it has. He's not wrong on that, but I'll tell you why he's wrong on that as well. And, well, what he means by that. But when it comes to this Giannis Antetokounmpo trade, just to give you guys an idea of what I'm looking at here, again, Giannis's contract incredibly lucrative, and with the teams that are going after him, you're going to have to pick some suitable people with contracts that are going to be able to eat that up. So, for example, all with draft picks, mind you, not exactly sure draft picks are going to be able to be thrown in, but I'm looking at the Warriors. I would say they would need to give up maybe Draymond Green, Kuminga, and Buddy Hield, or even a deal with Kuminga, maybe Moody, Padinsky, and Buddy, plus some cash compensation here. That's what we're looking at. And this is all just for one guy. I mean, you've heard Snack say it on this show multiple times that if you are going to be trading for a guy like this, you're going to be deep or uprooting your entire team. And you're really going to be trying to figure it out really with pennies at that point. So if you are going to be making this kind of commitment, you got to be able to hold on to the stars you have now. That's why I think the Heat are a pretty good contender for this, because when you sit there and you really look at how this is all going, and you look at how the Heat are continuously staying competitive in these games, they also have dead weight right now when it comes to Terry Rozier with all the stuff going on with his contract. You need something there. So I think personally, the most likely suitor is going to be Miami. They're still going to have to give up guys like Andrew Wiggins and Davion Mitchell and a lot of other pieces as well. But bringing in somebody like Giannis won't hurt them as much, I think, as it would hurt someone like the Knicks or the Warriors or any of these other teams, because with the Warriors, at least, you'd have to give up half of your starting five, if not most of your bench, just to be able to sustain Giannis's contract, which is not going to work out at all, in my personal opinion. But
well, before we get into with our comedians, I know we got Anthony on video, but
yes,
we got Daily Dave on the line, and I'm gonna go let Betts in.
Mr. Dave, how are you, sir?
Good morning, guys. I understand you have a big event coming up at the Woolworths weekend.
Well, the opening, I believe, is on Saturday. Yes.
That's awesome. That sounds great. I used to go there as a young 5-year-old, 4-year-old with my mom.
Well, you know, Dave, we were just there last night for a soft opening. It was actually a lot of fun. And give me one sec. I have to actually shift some stuff over. But I have not had the burger there, Dave, in quite some time. And I got to tell you, it is just as good probably as when you were a kid. You're going to enjoy it, I have to say.
I personally go with the Reuben. But
yeah,
hey.
I almost did just for you yesterday, Sparky.
They
just
are
for
good.
You. But I got to say, that entire just menu looked absolutely delicious. I could not choose. I just went with the burger.
Yep.
I had to.
They got the happy.
Yeah, I went in to do some work with the Money Wives a couple weeks ago to check on some stuff, and the place looks great, and just brought back memories as I walked in. I told the guys it's probably been 65 years since I've been there.
Really? Well, what did you think of the new offices? Sparky gave me the tour yesterday. It looks fantastic.
No, the place looks great, and I think they're really working on getting that downtown turned around. It'd be great to get commerce coming down there. We got people working on stuff. So,
well, that's the perfect transition, because we got another business owner from downtown right here, Mr. Dan Betts.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Good to see you.
No show. I'm not no show.
And on top of that, we got the beautiful Jauregui joining us.
If he could actually hear
by
us.
video.
Can you hear us, my friend? Yeah, there he is.
With car troubles. Yeah, no car troubles.
See, I was just giving him props for the car last week, too. And he looked at me and said, that thing is so old. So I think this is just the excuse he planted from a week ago.
Yeah.
You know, when you tell your boss I'm
How
sick.
he wouldn't do that.
He lives near me. He could have caught a ride. He's a Packers fan, so I'd have made him ride in the back seat. But either way, he could have.
Well, I don't know if you want that. Then you turn into a taxi.
Look at this Jaguar. Can you see me? What do we wear for you today?
Yeah, can you hear me? I can't.
We can hear you, my friend.
Okay, this technology is weird. When I opened the link that Sparky sent me, my computer downloaded a virus. A screen popped up. There's a naked lady.
I'm sure your computer had issues way before that link was sent.
Yeah,
no,
let's be honest here.
Mr. I love feet. Don't put that blame on me.
That's the guy who has a back door to your computer right now saying, "Where are we headed?"
Hey, speaking of back doors,
viruses, the car don't work.
What's really going on, Anthony?
No kidding.
You're a jalopy.
No, it's a chalupa, not a jalopy.
You're a chalupa.
There you go.
Hey, I brought something for Howdigi. Can you see us?
Yes, you can see us. You can see us. Oh Lord, what do we
I
got?
should have been there, dude. Oh, this is...
The cheese grater's here. Yes.
This would have been great in person.
Oh, baby.
Fresh Parmesan this morning. Who wants a little slice? I'm gonna cut my hand. Oh, look at this.
Parmesan's Italian, numbnuts.
I'm sorry, I don't wear cheese on my head, numbnuts.
Did you pull it out of the kitchen from the well?
You can say that, but God,
yeah, I knew it was clean.
I
have the screen open.
This is what I'm talking about. This is what the NFL needs. We need more of this. We need the cheese graters. We need
Are you glad you broke your fast for that piece of Parmesan cheese? You know it was disgusting. It was sitting in your car under your child's
not break my fast. I got my coffee here too. My dad jokes.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Well, speaking of the Well Comedy Club, we got a comedian coming in starting tonight. Who we got?
Russell Peters, big show.
So if anybody doesn't know who Russell Peters is,
Russell Peters exploded on YouTube years ago, went like mega viral. He's got some crazy stat, like his video specials, whatever, have been viewed something like over 100 million times combined or something crazy like that. He's a theater comic. We shouldn't have gotten him, but we did.
And not just once. You got him for 3 days.
All weekend, man. All weekend. Thursday, one show tonight, 2 Friday, 2 Saturday.
Tickets available for all of them?
wellcomedyclub.com. Yes, sir.
Beautiful.
We're almost sold. We're sold out of VIP and reserved for all the shows. We have a few GAs left.
Okay.
Get them now, wellcomedyclub.com.
And I had to highlight this just because I heard a little rumor that you guys had a special guest pop by after his show at the Fox, I hear.
Indeed, yeah. Rob Schneider popped by dressed like a disco ball. I think. Did you see the pictures?
I haven't seen the pictures.
He had
no,
like a silver, like shimmery.
Oh, that's awesome.
Did
he sing at your place too? Because apparently he sung at the Fox, from what I understand.
Yeah, he's got a band these days.
Oh,
which is strange.
Lord.
I think Bakersfield jinxed him. Did you hear? His wife filed.
Oh, I did see
funny.
that.
His wife
after
filed
15
for divorce.
years.
Yeah,
after
it's like
15
he did
years.
Bakersfield and lost his wife, dude. That's,
oh wow.
But that's not normal, Russell. You're fine. Just
yeah, no, it won't happen to you. I promise.
Yeah, it's super rare.
I did see Rob Schneider recently on the Kill Tony show, and I was like, what? Like, what is Rob Schneider doing?
And we had to Kill Tony.
He was actually funny, dude.
Yes, we had Hans Kim. Yeah, so
Schneider's funny. I don't know. It's a lot of political humor, which can go either way.
It's a little shticky, right?
Yeah.
Like, so if that's your bag, you're gonna love
exactly.
it. But the mass appeal, you lose a little bit when you start to narrow the focus.
I mean, with all the Adam Sandler little cameos, I was like, okay, I'm getting over this. You know, you can do it.
Yeah.
But I will say his Netflix series that he did, which is, I think it was Rob or I Am Rob or something. It was pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
I will say I got real old with the Adam Sandler movies, especially after the 20th Netflix special. But I do. I mean, I grew up watching the Saturday Night Live when they were all on it. So I will.
Sorry, I can't get over this. He's eating the cheese and staring right at Anthony.
And Anthony can't really even stand up.
I think because at the back of my mind, I know my car doesn't work, and I still have to go to work at the club downtown tonight. So I'm probably gonna have to start walking now. I'm screwed.
Well, this is why Uber is a thing, my friend.
I've never used Uber my entire life, and I don't plan on starting today. Okay.
Why? It's a taxi service.
I
What are you
don't
like?
trust
What is this?
people
Big
driving
pharma?
me. I don't trust people driving me. I'm sorry. Is that controlling of me? I'm sorry.
You don't like being in reliable vehicles? What a
yeah, you're about to say
you don't
walking.
like seeing what other people have. Oh Lord.
I'm taking my burro tonight.
Real quick though, what cheese is Packer cheese? Is it Parmesan? Is
Cheddar.
it cheddar? Is it Swiss? What's happening here?
Government.
I don't know, but it ain't that white piece of crap that Dan just ate. He stole that from Olive Garden when he went yesterday.
Yeah, because when I'm there, I'm family.
Yeah, and now you can walk away with
no
anything.
free press here, bud. Okay,
You're not affiliated with. We have to say that on air now.
That was good.
Olive Garden is not a sponsor.
I'm telling you, we are gonna sit down. I need to find a Vikings fan because we are gonna sit the four of you down and just have you guys go off. I just want to see the jokes that come out of this.
I know one, but he works for ICE, and I don't talk to him anymore. So
yeah, we're not gonna go that far.
He's a Vikings fan too.
I know that's the worst part.
God, you know what's funny? I know who he's talking about, right? This is a friend of ours, and he's Hispanic, and he works for ICE, and so we tease him. We're like, dude, you turn on your own people. He goes, I just drive the bus.
Just drive the bus.
Just drive the bus. We're like, yeah, someone just threw the switch at the gas chamber. You know what I mean? You drive.
Yeah, and someone just told Rosa Parks to sit at the back. Come on, man. There's always a driver.
Just haul him to the gas chamber.
That might actually be the worst part. Like you're the one taking.
You two will be the first comedians that have been on the show this week that I believe are not a part of this Dungeons and Dragons podcast. Am I wrong?
Rolling with
No,
comments.
we have wives.
Wow. Hey man, that doesn't mean they don't want you out of the house every so often.
I know the feeling of the touch of a woman.
Well, I am this close on losing my co-host to that damn podcast.
You ain't losing me to nothing.
Are you a D&D guy?
I played once or twice. Yeah,
once or twice.
Well, we met up last night, and all of them were talking about, oh man, we're getting Burdick in here. We're
do it.
Hey, Burdick, you should go on that show. That'll make 15 members on the podcast at one time.
I mean, look, brother, I am always willing to jump into anything. We're about to jump into Rodeo Pro Wrestling and do some commentary too. You never know.
Rodeo Pro Wrestling.
Rodeo Pro Wrestling, not bull riding pro wrestling. That's not what it is. They're just called Rodeo Pro Wrestling. It's a local indie company.
Hardcore wrestling, indie wrestling, and
they're trained by Rikishi and a lot of these other guys. So.
I just pictured
Rikishi.
Bull.
Yeah, and they asked us if we wanted to do the
commentary, man. I'm all for it.
I don't want to bull ride in Speedos.
You're looking at the next JR and King right here, baby. My
and
God.
Betts is like, what is that?
You're gonna tear a muscle in your gooch. Don't do it.
Oh God. I'm gonna have one of the wrestlers just come up and chop Sparky just to see what happens. We'll get the biggest guy back there.
Back to business.
Yes.
Russell Peters tonight, tomorrow, and Saturday. Two shows tomorrow and 2 shows Saturday. Just one tonight. What time's the show tonight?
Tonight is door 6, show 7, and again, there's only GA left and not a lot of them.
Well, I got 2 questions. One, I did buy tickets last week to go to the grand opening. I didn't make it, so I just donated to the cause because I'm a big fan of the Well Comedy Club. But the big week I'm looking forward to, obviously, is next week.
Why is Anthony dying right now? What is happening? What are we missing?
We upgraded someone to Sparky's seats and they ended up getting kicked out. Thanks for missing, Sparky.
Really? Did they really?
Yeah.
Oh, I got to hear more about this.
Yeah, hold on. Let's finish the question first, then we're going to cycle back to that.
And is it next week? Is the Jim Norton and Uncle Laser in the same week?
Yes.
Wow.
Jim,
and are tickets still available for that one?
Yes, but again, moving really fast. And VIPs and reserved seats are always kind of the first to go.
I get paid tomorrow, so I'll jump on it as soon as I can.
You buy some more tickets for somebody else.
Yes,
to get kicked out of the show. Yeah, what happened?
Tell me more, security.
Happen?
That was Steven's mom came out, and she was drunk again.
Sure. That's why we
trying
don't
to grab Hans Kim, saying,
"Come on, baby." So
yeah,
security, what happened?
Can I tell you, by the way, unrelated to that, but super quick, funny story about Russell Peters. I was in the green room of the main room at the store a while back, and mutual friend Sam Tripoli, who's also coming, are you going to break right now?
No. I'm him laughing is throwing me off. I'm sorry, Russell Peters.
Mute him. Just
honestly, we could.
Told the story last time you were on.
Loser.
Oh God.
Just kidding. Love you. I love you. And a mutual friend, Sam Tripoli, invited me back. So I'm hanging out in the green room, and he introduces me to Russell Peters, and he was like, "Hey, this is Dan Betts. He's got a great comedy club up in Bakersfield." And Russell's like, "Oh, cool, man. Nice to meet you." He goes, "Have I ever done your club?" And I go, "No." And he goes, "Why?" And I go, I think it's too small for you, or you're too big for it, whatever." He goes, "How many seats?" Our old location was 200. I go, 200. And he goes, "You're right. I am too big for you." And he turned his back on me. And I'm waiting for like the comedic timing for him to turn around. I'm like, I'm kidding. Never turned around. Never turn around. the comedy of it was that he never turned around. I can't wait to see him. I'm like, hey, bud,
remember me?
Welcome.
You finally
know what I
turned
mean?
around.
Welcome. There's nothing in the green room. Hope you brought your own snacks.
What is the vacancy now, or the occupancy? I'm sorry.
Vacancy, hopefully zero.
Yeah, 0 occupancy. I apologize.
If Steven doesn't come this time again.
Right.
At least 2.
We're 2.25 right now.
Okay.
Right on.
Very cool.
So that's what was the
25 was the
50.
difference, apparently.
Well,
yeah.
So I mean, we've talked about this off the air, but what is the difference from the old school White Lane location to the new and improved Well 2.0?
Besides the lights,
we
The
have
purple lights.
upgraded some cocktails. We have expanded the menu. We got more seats. The lighting and audio are even better, which sounds hard to say. I know for sure. At least the audio is amazing at White Lane. Full service now as well. We have a massive team of servers. What else?
Anthony, I'm going to ask you, because we always usually talk about food when you join me. Have you tried any of the food? I mean, I'm a wings guy. I love the burgers on the White Lane location. My wife always went for the fish and chips. Tell me, what should I get over at the Well before the comedy show?
You should definitely order the nachos. I was so lucky enough to try the nachos. Apparently, they were about to be thrown out. They were on top of the trash can, but I rescued them. I picked them up. I gave them a new home, and they have since been released into the wild, but they were delicious on the way in. Get the nachos, add the chicken, baby. $3 extra.
Nachos.
Fantastic.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
So that is the chicken from Abuela's house, isn't it? That's what it is. You took that.
Abuelo, some grandpa's killing the chicken. Okay,
that's messed up, man. You gotta leave those chickens alone.
And I know
pets.
We talked about it before it actually officially opened, but you were talking about, once you guys get comfortable doing more of like where people don't have to rush out after the shows. Are you planning on still doing that where they can kind of kick back, have a drink after the show, or is it, Anthony's going to start dragging people out?
Anthony's a bouncer, dude. He kicked somebody in the junk last weekend, dude.
Was it?
Did a sharpshooter on.
Nice. He's learning.
See, put a little WWE in there.
That's what I'm saying. Give him sweet chin music next.
We will down the road, I think.
My leg doesn't go that high.
We will down the road allow folks to probably stick around, have a couple of cocktails. We're not rushing them out right now. You stick around, finish your drinks, maybe grab one more. But
my favorite part is, the parking. When I went to the White Lane location, I would have to park down the street past the church and, walk my beautiful wife down. And, this one is right across the street from the parking garage. You can go early, have a drink, order some food, kick back before the show. And I'm pumped. And Russell Peters starting tonight, Friday, Saturday, and get your tickets, thewellcomedyclub.com. And as well, like we talked about, Jim Norton, one of my favorite comics. I've been looking. I circled that as soon as you put it on the calendar. And of course, Uncle Laser, which I believe my co-host Burdick has actually seen Uncle Laser.
I have, and I will most likely be there again. He's hilarious.
Most likely.
Very.
I never really like to compare. I'd like to commit because there's too much stuff going on all the time.
He may play Dungeons and Dragons.
May play. You never know. If the schedule permits.
He may be doing some open mic very soon as well.
Well, no, I won that bet.
Did you lose your fantasy?
No, I did not lose that bet. I'm not doing no open mics. No, I did not lose fantasy football. It was an ongoing bet with Tyson, and I clearly won. So
what was the bet?
That Dak Prescott was going to have a better statistical season than Justin Herbert.
Oh. Okay.
Which happened.
I mean, they both kind of lost.
They did. They both lost. That's fine. But who had a better statistical year? That was Dak Prescott.
I heard the loser has to carry a grape in their butt cheeks from end zone to end zone.
Oreo.
PG show, bud.
Oreo. First of all, if we're going to get the reference right, we have to get it right.
And then how he has to eat it.
It's too early for that.
Still one of the greatest football shows of all time.
We're making people's mornings better.
And are we really going to glance over that Anthony still has not told us what happened with the seats and the kicking out of the person?
Oh, I'm sorry. Here, let me explain. Basically, there was a big empty hole, 2 seats. We upgraded somebody. They went up there. They had a great time until the last 15 minutes of Hans Kim, wherein he said something about the female gender. And this lady got upset, went outside, and screamed at us. So that's kind of what happened. She said she'll never come back. Dan, I'm sorry about that review. But either way, we're pushing, and it was a great show.
Look, man, comedy is meant to be taken lightly. I don't think the right people were sitting in those seats.
I know,
think that's
because
what
I
it
couldn't
is.
get there.
Yeah.
Go to a comedy club and sit by myself. I was like, I bought them right in the front center. Come on, babe.
You were right in the right smack dab in the middle. And honestly,
But it goes back to when I got to go to the Comedy Store. I'm walking in. I had no idea where my seats were going to be. Thank you, Mr. Betts. And he put us front center. And I'm like, okay, this is going to be a long night. Luckily, I had a drink. I had the liquid courage. I was okay. And I looked over to the right. And this guy was shrooming, and I'm like, cool, the target is right here now. And I will say, the whole night, all the comedians just went right after him. So I got a pass this time.
There you go. Don't do shrooms in the front row.
Right.
It's a hard
do
no.
shrooms and go to a comedy club. I don't know how.
You're in the reserve section. That's a reserve section activity, not a VIP activity.
That's more of a reserved kind of speed. You know what I mean?
Anthony,
oh Lord,
when are you going to get on stage?
Yeah, when are we going to see you?
When Dan books me. So let's see, maybe later this year.
Yeah,
let's move forward
and moving right along. Back to you in the studio for a weather update. It's foggy out there, folks. Plan to leave a little early.
Unless your car can't start.
Yeah,
right.
I'll get him on stage. He did our soft opening on this past Thursday. Anthony's one of our past comics, and sports aside, I love him. He's hilarious. And
sports aside.
And hosts our open mics, which we haven't even talked about it. He doesn't even know, but I expect will return after Uncle Lay's after Jim Norton. So we've got
I'm telling everybody it's canceled because I'm a Packers fan and you're a Bears fan, and that's the reason.
The last I've heard.
Yeah, that is what happened.
We told everybody that our mutual friend deported you, and that's we have no.
Hey, he's not a friend anymore.
Back to Green Bay. I mean,
exactly. He took you back to Wisconsin.
And Betts, I know you recently got back on stage. Now that the well is open and you're starting to get back into a routine, is there any plan on getting back on stage, regularly?
Yeah, glad you asked, man. I my comedy career pretty much ended for the last 9 months while we were getting the club open. I had a couple weekends in Canada right when we decided to move that I had to pull out of, which was
I remember you were here when you were canceling the flights.
Yeah, I got hosed on those. I got stuck for flights and hotels, everything. I was bringing Eddie Molina's probably been in here, one of our local comics. He was going up there to feature for me for a couple. But I did do Brea improv this past Sunday, which was cool. But it was a hell of a week between. I think I did morning TV Tuesday at 4:45 in the morning or something ridiculous.
See, and you gave us grief getting you here at 8.
I know, right? And then we had the ribbon cutting.
That was the week when he didn't show up.
No, see there
it was. Yeah,
that it was.
We got I was trying to do the whole press junket and promote shows. That's why there's a couple GAs left because I overslept one day and didn't promote like I was supposed to. But yeah, we had the ribbon cutting Tuesday and then soft opening Thursday, 4 shows Friday, Saturday, and then I did Brea on Sunday. And it was, I got to tell you, that's all I want to do. It was great to just get back in the saddle and do a long set again. So
was it kind of like a breath of fresh air for you, kind of a thing? I get to get back to my normalcy.
It literally was. And everybody else involved in the club, our consultant and her and my wife and our kitchen manager, probably Jaguar, everybody kind of had a sigh of relief, I think, on Sunday when you woke up all right, let's sleep in, take it easy. And I'm an idiot, so I went down to Brea. So then my day was kind of Monday. So I fell apart Monday and Tuesday. I was just exhausted. But we're back at it. We are back at it, man.
And I know he mentioned you guys letting people stay around for drinks, but is there any possibility that you guys stay open even when you guys don't have shows? Is this going to be a bar for people just to go hang out at too?
We'll see. The initial plan here was that we were going to do lunch, happy hour, after hours.
I remember you saying that.
The whole shebang. And we backed away from a bunch of it as the whole project scope changed and we did more demolition and more work and closed longer, blah, blah, blah. So that was the plan. I still do want to do it. I'd like to have 2 open mics, a Thursday show every week, 2 Friday, 2 Saturday, and a Sunday, and occasionally even 2 on a Sunday brunch and a Sunday evening show. So we'll see. Eventually that is where I would like to be, to go, hey, when you've gone downtown and there's places that you know, like Tikiko's great, and I know the folks over there, but you show up and they're not letting anybody in right now, which is a great problem to have. But you're just looking for a place to go, and I think we've got the space and the sound system and everything else where you go. It's easy.
You guys are smack dab in the middle of downtown too. It's simple for people to get to, and honestly, the way the bar looks, you guys could be a very good just bar at the same time as a comedy club.
I would like to. We'll see. I mean, obviously the focus is right now just comedy. Same thing.
Comedy.
White Lane, all we did was comedy for the first year before we got into, like, we did punk rock karaoke and we did Hunks, the Chippendales type show, and we're doing
that was for Anthony. We all know that.
Funny enough, you guys probably know this, right? But we did Hunks on a Tuesday last year, I think, at the White Lane location, and then the next night we had our larger comedians in town, so we did Hunks and Chunks.
That is awesome.
This guy
Jaguar was on Chunks, had a blast.
I know there was a big turnout because I still get people over at Moneywise that they, you know, some people like certain types of comedy, and you know, my ex-wife, I know my boy Chris and his wife, they went out to the free or the nurses night.
Oh, nurses night out. Yeah.
They enjoyed the hell out of that, and they were like, they were more nervous on going to a full-time comedy club thinking it's all going to be raunchy, you know, dirty jokes. I'm like, there's always a different type of comedian, and they don't just do, you know, dirty jokes. And they've asked several times, is there any chance that that's going to be coming back anytime soon?
Great question. So the guy that I was at Brea with is that NICU nurse that does Nurse Night Out with a really good friend of mine. So yes, I actually got to reach out to him and book him. We'll get Nurses Night Out back. We've got a clean comedy show coming up. We're working on Nate Bargatze's dad is a magician, and we're working on booking him up right now. We have
now. Are we talking David Blaine, magician? Are we talking Chris Angel? What?
I think more coin out of the ear type.
Okay.
You know? No, I don't know.
So kids playground kind of a thing.
Oh, you got a potato coming out of your ear.
More Houdini.
Yeah, pull my finger.
Can
what
I
else?
punch you in the stomach? And
Hunks,
you won't feel it.
Yeah, that's how he died. We got Hunks coming up. We're working on adult bingo. I think we just booked. We have a brunch
Adult
drag show
bingo.
coming up, which will be fun. We're looking at a lip sync battle at some point too.
Like, look at Anthony's face right now. He's like, "We do? This is interesting. I didn't even know this."
Well, matter of fact, I mean, Anthony's box office. So he puts these shows on sale.
Well, after that last video Anthony did with the emo, I was waiting for the emo night with Anthony.
Oh, I'd love to do emo night. My favorite band is My Chemical Romance, and also all my past relationships.
One to love.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Is My Chemical Romance really your favorite band?
Yeah. Them and System of a Down.
That's a big jump.
I was saying
I'm a System of a Down guy. He's My Chemical Romance guy.
I like
that.
both
when I
those.
saw that video, dude, I almost lost it.
The hood came up.
When I was
a young boy, my father took me into the city to see a marching band.
And YouTube just hit us for copyright.
Yeah, can we clear that, you guys?
Yeah, we're good. I know
it
Dan
was
Betts.
so close to the real thing that I don't think we're gonna be able to clear that.
Jared,
I got a drum set. I could do the snare part.
Do you see the way that we just bonded, though?
Right?
Music.
See, we did this in 30 minutes.
Emo music brings.
So the
everyone
last minute, Russell, you wanna put the final touch?
Man, just come on out for Russell Peter. I'm telling you, the guy is absolutely preposterously funny. Never played Bakersfield. He's a theater comic. You cannot go wrong with this show. Thursday to Friday to Saturday. Jim Norton next Thursday for 2 shows. Who else?
Uncle Laser.
Darren Carter.
Giannis Papas.
Starter. Huh?
Giannis
Papas. Oh yeah, gotta see Giannis
My
Papas.
favorite. He's great.
Another fantastic show. For folks that don't know the name, still buy the ticket. Just trust me on this one. Giannis Papas. By the way, you got to get Anthony to sing Du hast at some point.
I love me some Rammstein and Germans, baby. Yeah.
So
next Thursday.
My last question: what is the difference between a regular comic like you guys and a theater comic?
Well, for
there
Anthony
props or something?
Anthony to Russell is a huge leap, but for
I mean,
me,
is there gonna be props? Is it gonna be like Gallagher?
The shots that were just thrown. My God.
I thought we were almost good.
we're like Tupac and Biggie, bro.
I've acted in a theater that big. I've never done stand up. Okay.
I feel bad. I feel like we're just bullying Anthony today. He's just here just to take strays. I
And
apologize.
then later today, Dan's gonna be like, "Hey, Anthony, can you go clean up that throw up in the bathroom?"
No, I can't.
Joke's on you. It's my throw up. I mean, this cheese was old, dude.
There's a reason he pushed it away.
Wash the grater.
I'm gonna yak in a urinal and be, hey, Anthony, can you throw some cat litter on that?
Sawdust.
We have run out of time, though.
No, but what
gentlemen.
is a theater comic?
What's the difference?
It's just huge, just big name, man.
Okay.
Been
Selling
doing it a
out
long
theaters.
time. Yeah, he's got. Russell's probably got to be a 2 decades long comic, 20-year comic. Yes, a really established.
So
writer.
like, you would say probably like Kevin Hart's an arena comic then?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That
you
makes
got
sense.
like club theater arena.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, we'll continue to promote it, and we will see you next week. Go to thewellcomedyclub.com and go get some tickets.
Thank you for joining us, sir. We appreciate it. Well,
Thanks.
thank you both for joining us. Anthony,
for
hopefully you
having
get
us.
your car fixed by next week. Also,
Come
before
say
you
hi.
go,
Yeah.
are you worried that you're going to lose Caleb Williams to the, Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry?
Zero chance.
Zero chance? No. This
Zero
man is a
chance.
wizard, dude.
He's a beast.
He is a wizard.
We
I'm
got
sorry. I
something-
know Anthony's sitting here in the corner saying, really? We got to end on Bears. Yes, we do.
Seriously?
This man
It's
is
over
a
for
wizard.
you, buddy. My whole life I had to get beat by you guys. That's
This
it.
is
We're
a
done.
wizard, man. I'm telling
Jordan
you.
Love can't carry Caleb's jock strap.
Oh, God. All right. We're going to end on that note. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. We got to take a break. Bolt Brady on the other side. This is the Early Bird Special right here on KGEO Sports Talk. Welcome back. Early Bird Special right here on KGEO Sports Talk 101.1 FM, 12:30 a.m. It's time to talk to our guy, Bolt Brady. Now, I know there's not a lot of games to go out there and bet on right now in the football world, but there's plenty to talk about with Super Bowl coming up. Plus,
starting with Belichick.
Yeah, and there's some other stuff I want to get his mind or his thoughts on, I should say, about the PGAs. We have another live golfer who jumped over yesterday, but there's a ton to talk about. And I want to get his thoughts on all these prop bets that you guys can get in, all the fun ones, the coin toss, the Gatorade, all that type of stuff. Bolt, can you hear us?
Yeah, what's happening, fellas?
What's happening, sir? First and foremost, let's start with the news of the week. Your thoughts on Bill Belichick not making the Hall of Fame first ballot? Do you think this was warranted, or are you of the mind, like everybody else, that this is kind of ridiculous?
Well, it does seem a little silly with his resume, but I did see one stat that made it a little bit more interesting, that after Tom left, he only won 44% of his games. So that does make things a little bit more interesting. But, of course, his resume, I mean, he's won so many Super Bowls that it seems a little silly he didn't get voted in.
See, I agree that it's silly, but maybe it's me being somebody who I'm a goody-goody when it comes to games. I don't like people who cheat. I don't like people who break the rules. And for me, that's what really is the crux of all of this. You got caught cheating twice, dude. Like,
sure.
The fact you only have to wait a year is a blessing. Lynn Swann had to wait, 14?
And there's coaches like Shanahan and Flores that aren't in.
Right. So, I mean, again, and I know he's getting in. There's no way they don't put him in there. But first ballot, I think the cheating kind of wiped that away years ago.
Fair enough.
So,
that's a good argument.
Yeah. And the other story I had to get your thoughts on, obviously, is Patrick Reed making the decision that he will be joining Brooks Koepka and coming back to the PGA later this year. I believe his contract ends about halfway through the PGA year. How do you feel about this move? And is he going to get penalized like Brooks did?
He is, as far as the equity. I know that they can't get the PGA equity until like 2030, but
right.
Yeah, these guys are stoked, right? I mean, they break away for a few years, get paid tens of millions of dollars, and now that they get to come back.
Right. And I mean, now it is incredibly lucrative what they're missing out on with the punishments, but do you think the money they made at Live kind of just makes it so they don't care? Because I mean, Brooks's comments yesterday made it seem like, hey man, I'm just in this because my family wanted me back in the PGA and they're more open to them traveling and being around with me. So it seems to me that he made this whole decision not based on money or his legacy, but based on his family.
But you know what's funny is when he jumped to the Live, he said the same thing.
True.
Right? Less tournaments. I played less rounds.
I get to be around my family more. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair. So, right. I mean, do you think that's just his scapegoat then at this point? Is it just he's saying it, but that's not what he actually means?
Yeah, I think the reason why these guys are coming back is, I mean, they know the PGA is where the best are at, right. And they want to play in majors. And one of the reasons why they're so good at golf is because they're hyper competitive.
Right.
So, in the Live, it wasn't competitive. I mean, let's call a spade a spade. They went because of the money.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. And that's why I think they're going to pull in a lot of the younger golfers too, because they see just the lucrative deals that they can get with Live, and then maybe do the same thing and not get penalized by PGA because they never were with the PGA.
Right.
So,
good call.
I mean, they could sit there and argue that, say, well, you can't penalize me and keep me away from everything if I was never part of the PGA in the first place.
That's correct. Yeah. Good call.
So let's get to these prop bets with the Super Bowl. We'll get into the game itself next week and break down more about that. But do you get in on some of these fun prop bets that Vegas likes to run? I mean, there are a lot of them, and not going to lie to you, I think some of them are a little much. I mean, we have to bet on the color of Gatorade that comes out at the end of the game. Like,
right. I'm glad you brought up the prop bets. So here's the thing about prop bets. I mean, if you want to have a little fun and throw a few bucks on them here and there, that's fine. But if you're actually trying to win, the best prop bets are the ones that you either get to choose over or under or yes and no.
Okay.
Because the reason being is when they give you, like Super Bowl MVP odds, for example, Darnold's plus 135, which implies a 43% 43% chance that he's going to win, and the odds are much less than 43% when you statistically look at it. And so the sports books kind of I don't want to use the word rip off, but they're not giving you the best odds.
Okay, that makes a little sense. Is there any of these that you kind of like to dabble in yourself?
Well, I do like, again, I'll go back to the over-unders. I do like JSN, the receiver for Seattle. His over-under receiving yards is 93.5, and I like the under there. And then I really like Darnold's under passing yards, 230.5. He's only gone past that once, and that was the very last game, where he played well. 3 out of the last 4 games, he's actually gone under that. What you'll find in the Super Bowl is teams are very, very conservative in the beginning.
Right. Yeah.
And so there's going to be a lot of handoffs, and I just don't think they're going to be slinging the ball around.
Well, I mean, first team to make a mistake traditionally will be the one to lose the Super Bowl, so that would make a lot of sense. Do you see this game going the route of just low scoring, kind of like what we caught the last time these two faced in the Super Bowl?
I do favor that more because it does. Even when you have Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes playing, they're very, very conservative in the beginning. And so when you're conservative, that tends to lead to unders.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking as well. And then, so with the over-unders, obviously there are others besides just the ones with the players. There's the odd ones. Do you think that these, like the over-under on the national anthem time and stuff like that, are those good bets?
I guess if you follow the national anthem, right? I mean, what I would say about that is typically when it gets closer to kickoff, you'll see those drop or rise very quickly, and that's usually because someone knows something, typically. And so if you're looking at something like that, I would watch it more closely to kickoff.
Okay. So wait till the last possible second to put in bets on those then.
Yeah, right.
I mean, personally, I'm old school. I play the football squares and try my luck. But my only question to wrap up is with all the head coaches, the vacancies that we went through for the last few weeks, is there any of them that really jump out at you and think, man, this is a good fit for this guy?
Not really. I mean, I feel like everyone kind of pulled the trigger really quickly. I mean, when it comes to the coaches, though, I just think what Vrabel has done with the Patriots is so impressive. I mean, I think the Titans look silly, I think, letting him go now. I mean, the last 2 seasons, the Patriots were 4-13, and he literally flips the script. And the Titans are 6-28 since he left.
Is that the new bar, you think, now? Has Vrabel set a new precedent for these coaches? And do you think we could potentially see a lot of these teams do more one-and-dones with coaches like we saw with the Raiders and Pete Carroll this year?
Yeah, it's funny. My brother and I were talking about that on our podcast. It's like, I'm like, wow, these guys aren't very patient. The management's not very patient. My brother's like, well, everyone's getting paid too much money. They don't have time to be patient.
No, that's a very good point. And the Carr brothers brought up the same topic on their podcast as well. They are under the impression that the NFL just gives up on guys too quickly in general, players and coaches as a whole.
And you find teams like the Raiders that are paying for multiple coaches going into a head coaching search.
I mean, they're going to be paying more for those coaches than anything this guy's going to make most likely throughout his entire career with them. So do you think with the 2 remaining left, which one's more enticing to you, the Raiders, the Cardinals?
No, there's no chance.
I know, it's so rough to choose from.
Sorry, but there's no way I would take the Raiders. I said the Raiders is where people go to kill their careers.
Yeah,
just like the Jets.
At this point, I mean, it's hard to deny that. It really is. I feel so bad for Max Crosby and Geno Smith because as much grief as Raider fans like to give Geno, I don't blame Geno for a lot of the stuff that happened this year. I really don't. This team was just bad.
I still think, man, a perfect fit. Pull Rex Ryan out, put him in Vegas, give him with the Raiders, let them run that circus.
I think the fact that they haven't signed somebody yet means there's a lot more legitimacy to that Kubiak signing. I think for sure he might be their next one, but maybe you're right, Bolt. Maybe that's actually a bad thing for Mr. Kubiak, and he might go the way his father did, unfortunately. So, sir, thank you so much for your time. We have run out of it, though, and we will talk to you next week as we break down the game itself and all of the major bets that people should look out for.
Yeah, we'll fire it up next week. All right, fellas, take care.
Take you, sir. Let's take a break real quick. We'll get to the other side. We got a couple more miscellaneous stories to get to. Serena Williams making a return to tennis. That's on the ledger. And LeBron has come out and said that the NBA today is just different than it was in the 90s. He's right, but I'll also tell you why he's wrong as well. This is the Early Bird Special right here on KGEO Sports Talk.
That liner's not supposed to be there. Do not listen to your lying ears, which Eisen is not after this show. You'll get Blair and Abdallah right after the other business.
Same thing.
Right here on KGEO Sports Talk, 101.1 FM, 1230 AM, but it doesn't matter. But you're here to listen to us. We appreciate it.
What's tomorrow? Flail and Pitzer?
Flail and Pitzer tomorrow. So we'll be
Royal Rumble time.
Talking a lot of wrestling tomorrow. And uh-oh. I was right, Sparky. I was right.
Uh-oh.
Tommaso's at AEW, baby.
I saw that.
Made his appearance last night. The Psycho Killer's back. I'm excited.
He's like Hulk Hogan.
Dude, this is going to be a different Tommaso. This is going to be a blood. Oh, I'm so ready to see what Tony Khan lets this boy do. Because if there's one thing that I at least give Tony credit for, he stays out of the way with the talent. He tells them, it's your gimmick. You do what you want with it. I will just tell you the parameters in which you can do it on television.
I saw the flames and I saw the money put back into him. I was like, okay, well, he was.
Here,
Verdict
baby.
could say he can be a superstar
On
in a
AEW.
different,
I'm telling you.
smaller.
Johnny Gargano and his wife, Candice LeRae, most likely will be leaving as well, I would assume, but we'll see what happens. But Tommaso Ciampa has found a new home, and I'm very excited. We could talk about that with our guy Pitzer and Flail tomorrow. I do not nearly have enough time to get into LeBron. So we will save that for tomorrow as well. LeBron came out on his podcast over the week talking to Tyrese Halliburton, talking about injuries and stuff in the new game. And he made what people are calling controversial statement, saying that the NBA today is vastly different than the NBA in the 90s, and he wishes that fans would understand that. And to be honest with you, he's not wrong, but he's also not right. Easiest way for me to explain it is he tried to sit there and say that the pace of the game today is much faster than it's ever been. That's not true. Although it was much faster than it was in the 90s, like he said, 80s, 70s, 60s, it was actually faster than it is today. So there's a lot of things that he said that aren't fully true. I'll explain exactly what that is tomorrow on tomorrow's show, 7 to 9. Join us. But before we get out of here, some interesting news in the world of American tennis, Sparky.
Finally,
Serena Williams went on the Today Show yesterday talking about her more recent or her upcoming Super Bowl commercial with ROC, or Roke as it's called. It's a weight loss drug. And Savannah asked this. She asked, hey, our producers noticed you got back into the doping thing. You got tested for doping again. What does that mean? Are you back? Serena, absolutely. Oh, I don't know what that's what? All these people are laughing in the back. They're throwing me off. You're asking me this on the Today Show. I'm a wife. I am a mother of two. I'm just having fun with my life right now. Absolutely avoided the question. I'll play that audio for you tomorrow as well.
Come back. We miss you.
I'm telling you, Serena Williams might have seen her sister Venus do it and said, you know what? Let's do this. Let's bring the doubles back to America. We'll talk about all that and more tomorrow. Join us, won't you? 7 to 9 a.m. But until then, Sparky, let's get out of here.